Hi, this is Dr. John Whitcomb talking about Carrageenan, something you probably haven't heard about, but how about soft ice cream? Milwaukee is famous for delicious custard ice creams. In fact, Wisconsin has sent that wonderful flavor all over the country through Culver's. So any of you who are fans of Culver's, we can get wonderful custard ice cream. It's very smooth and soft and higher fat and more egg in it. Just delicious. Great flavor. But it's got a problem. And here's the background for that problem. First of all, background information. Did you know the #1 cause of mortality in hospitals is sepsis? Out of control infection. And what's making that out of control is you get a cytokine storm, all these inflammatory markers being set off in response to the lipopolysaccharides, the little pieces, LPSs, lipopolysaccharides, the proteins and fats on the surface of the bacteria. And you get a cytokine storm and your blood pressure collapses and you die. #1 cause of death in hospitals. All right, but also, did you know that if you're a little bit overweight, as in a tummy over maybe 40 inches for men and 35 for women, you have all sorts of inflammatory markers in your blood, and that are probably caused by LPSs coming out of your gut. In fact, if you put a catheter into a vein draining your gut, you can measure them and prove that. And all those folks will have slightly elevated C-reactive proteins, all caused by those lipopolysaccharides. So you can take lipopolysaccharides and inject them into the footpad of mice to have a standard model of inflammation. The problem is you can't control the concentration of LPSs, but you can get the exact same effect with Carrageenan. Oh dear, the food additive Carrageenan injected in their footpads and you make inflammation just like LPSs? Yes, exactly. Well, Carrageenan has been deemed as having NOEFL, no observed adverse side effect, meaning it's supposedly safe to add to food. We extract it from seaweed as Carrageenan. What they didn't mention is when you expose Carrageenan to acid, it turns into polygeenan, and polygeenan is a different animal. Polygeenan put polygeenan in the gut of animals, and in 30 days you can get guinea pigs to have ulcers all through their gut. Oh dear, we have a problem. Carrageenan may be something that it causes ulcers in the gut of animals. Carrageenan probably is a food you don't want to have in your food chain, and it's not just in delicious ice cream. You'll find it in many, many foods as an agent that makes it smoother and silkier and wonderful, flavorful. But it's part of that whole scenario of foods that are going to cause trouble. And when we get to that point of saying it's ultra processed, ice cream is probably one of those ultra processed foods. What will work for me? I just don't eat that ice cream anymore. First of all, my nucleus abducens just goes crazy over ice cream and sugar, and I just eat the whole thing. Can't expose myself to that anymore. Shucks. News and nutrition. Carrageenan is probably not something you want in your food supply.